I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm a preacher, so, and in my third final conclusion, you'll know I'm almost finished. I just want to say thank you also to everyone. I am humbled, and I've been part of working with OCCJ, going way back before TMM. And one of the things we did with Tulsa Metropolitan Ministry was we had a racism committee, and I remember bringing up the subject, since I was the chair at the time, why do we have these mascots? And I remember people saying, yeah, we're going to do something about it. And it just reminds me, here we are in 2016 talking about the same issues we were fighting 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And then I was asked to speak about back in the day. And it does bring up some pretty amazing memories, and not always pleasant. And I know I don't have much time, so I want to jump right into it and talk about back in the day. Many of you all know Gap Band, right? Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. That's what it was back in the day. We could not really go across the tracks on the Archer side, and we couldn't really, when we first got here, go past Pine Street. So here we are in that Greenwood area, and that's where all the black folks were. I mean, you did not go. And finally, I remember they kind of let us start migrating north, and I remember we got all the way up to Apache. And that's where my grandparents lived, and I remember how excited my mother was when she was gonna, my mom, single mother, said she was gonna have her a house built. And she built it right next to Walt Whitman. And I remember the pride of just being right next to Walt Whitman, way past 36th Street North. And let me tell you what back in the day was like. It was like, oh my gosh, the black people are here. And I remember we integrated Monroe Junior High School. Can you imagine? Monroe was an all-white junior high school. And I was 7th grade, they ran us to the bus. Every day we had to run to the bus and hear the N-word and a lot worse. And it was about 80% white, and forgive me Indians, y'all were, anyway. But it was 20% black, and that was 7th grade. 8th grade, it was about 50-50. 9th grade, we said, where'd all the white people go? They went to Jinx, Owasso. I mean, we didn't even know there was a Collinsville. And these were all, I mean, one horse, I mean, no horse. And all of a sudden, teams that were 2A became 5A. Jinx, well, let me put it this way. Jinx was a 1A school. What are they now, 7A? The whole point I'm trying to make, I mention all that because I was selected to be part of Booker T. Washington's first magnet school, and they asked me to do all the commercials. I remember getting all excited. I had signed up for chorus, I was going to be in the choir, I was on the football team, and I remember doing the commercials. Hi, my name is Darell Christopher, I'm going to be part of a new exciting program. It's the magnet school, and and I got all excited, and then I went to Holland Hall. Okay, they still hate me for that. But I bring that up because that was a long trip back then from North Tulsa. No highways, you just had to drive light after light after light. And I bring it up because one August, and I bring it up because 1974, no cell phones, Mama had bought me this amazing hoopty. It was a Chevy Biscayne. And I remember everybody thought I had a classic. I remember getting it out of the junkyard and having my shade tree mechanic put it together. The car was barely making it. But in this August, and the reason I bring that up, right down the street from here, I mean, I'm talking just a few blocks down the street, is where my story comes from. We were, okay, all right, me and my friend Russell, he had a cousin, I just met his cousin. What's up, man? How you doing, man? Yeah, cool, man. We went to see a Sylvester Stallone movie, and we're all pumped up, but Russell had to write a story on Cheryl Kunkel for the tennis team, for the Holland Hall newspaper. He said, look, man, you guys go do something while I write the story. So we're heading down Harvard. It's raining, car just stops. I mean, the water gets in the wires underneath. They used to have wires underneath cars. So I'm pushing my car at 11th and Harvard to the side street, pulling over there. There used to be a Army surplus store. Me and my new friend, Russell's cousin, and we get in the car, man, we're like, dude, man, this is crazy, man. Yeah, let me call my mama, which meant I had to get out of the car, go over to the Army surplus store and make a phone call. Wasn't his cell phone? So I called mama, tell her where we are, 11th and Harvard. Skelly Stadium, right? That's what they used to call it, right across the street. And here I am, waiting on Mom. Police officer, pulls up, and we go, hey, Mr. Officer, being all nice. He says, can I see some IDs? Oh, yeah, sure, man, what's up? Yeah, sure. Russell's cousin takes out his ID, I take out mine. He says, thank you, gives it back. He takes off. 12 police cars. Pull up 5 minutes later. They all pull guns out. Get out of the car. And me and Russell, we're sitting up there just, oh boy, they're going to be really surprised. They got the wrong guys. We're so naive to think how serious until they put the gun to our head while we're on the concrete. And they kept saying that 2 blacks fitting our description had just robbed a typewriter store, which happened to be right where my car stalled. Yeah, I'm going to get a better getaway car. And they said, you fit the description. They took everything they could pull out of the car. They start putting us, in the move, can't breathe. And I'm like, all of a sudden realizing, oh my gosh, this is serious. These people really are serious. I go to Holland Hall. They kept asking me, what are you doing on this side of town? And I said, what side of town? And that's when they said, you're a smart nigga, aren't you? And that's when he clicked the gun. At this time, it gets serious. But here comes my mama. What are you doing? Ma'am, you're gonna have, no, I'm not standing back anywhere. That's my son. I'm so thankful she showed up when she did. They have us in the car. Mama's right, we're coming this way. I remember they stopped right here in front of Bama Pie. Ma'am, you're following too close behind. She said, oh no, I'm watching everything you do in the back of that car. And she stayed on them all the way downtown. And this was back when they were, you think it's bad now. We watched a Native American get beat while we were being booked in. And I remember, his name is Gene, I didn't know it at the time. I remember Gene saying, sir, what are you doing? He goes, he's resisting arrest. Do you want some of this? They take us in, they put us in separate rooms. I remember the detective saying, your friend over there doesn't even know your name. I said, sir, I'm sorry, I don't know his name either. Oh, so now we're really deep, but my mother stayed on top of it. And I know for a fact that's what saved me from having a record, from maybe getting hurt, maybe not making it home that night. It just happened my mother would not take no for an answer. She says, I'm gonna watch what you do to my son. And you say, well, how does that impact me? I can't tell you how angry I was, how I was ready to hurt somebody, how I realized the police were not my friends, why white people were not right, and why I wanted to hurt somebody. And my mother, thank goodness for a woman. Like I said, I didn't learn Christianity from church. That was just church politics. I had Jesus living in my house. She said, we're better than that. We don't stoop to that level. We're gonna show them with love. We're going to show them that love conquers hate. She says, you're going to grow up and you're going to be somebody. And I'm so glad because I was so angry, but she says, that's not the answer, baby. Life is not fair, but you are going to realize you can make a difference in lives. And she taught me that over and over. And I wonder what to tell my children. Do I tell them, okay, do you have to, get that pose like, yes, son, no, sir? Do we have to bow down? Do I have to tell them no hoodies? Do I have to tell them no, you can't be walking in neighborhoods, you got to do this? And I'm wondering why things haven't changed. But I do realize you can never get love out of hate. You can never get peace out of war. And I'm thankful I had a mother who taught me that at an early age, that we're not going to stoop to any level. And it taught me that I have to understand, even though it's not fair, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I think that's the message I got was, it's not just happening to me, it's happening to a lot of people who are disenfranchised, a lot of people who are marginalized. And I'm so thankful to have a mother who put that in my heart. When we marched, when we did all those things, she was always reminding me that one day we're gonna get better. And I know she was so amazingly happy when she was able to pull that lever for President Obama. It changed her life. She's like, I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. But it changed, and she passed away right after that. But she got to see that. So I am always going to be optimistic. And I do believe it's about forgiveness, it's about love, it's about teaching people through example. I do believe that when we get upset, when I keep seeing it happening over and over, I'm so thankful that there are people like you that are out there working to make a difference. Thank you.